All right, guys. So in times like this, we should be looking at some stocks that are doing well right now. And we don't want to be, I don't want to keep looking at shitty stocks. So, and, I like all the stocks that I do videos on, but obviously they're all going into downtrends here. So we need to start looking at stocks that are going into uptrends or already have been in uptrends, obviously, here. So to me, GE is looking very fucking good. We have some potential warning signs, but, excuse me, this was a breakout of a very, very long-term pattern here. So I want to take a look at it. So right here is GE. Let me hide some shit so it doesn't look so terrible. So this is something we could actually take a look at. Now, of course, we have to be a little concerned because on the daily here, we're starting to get a little overextended. And we have to look for some bearish divergence and some other things here, right? But to start it off, let's see if this is something that would be safe to get into or not. So we did just get a daily close above 1340. So this is a level we're going to want to keep an eye on. And on the downside here, 1327, if it breaks below that and gets an hourly close below 1316, roughly 1319, then it could actually come back down and test this 1222 on the downside here, right? But on the upside here, we did get this daily close above this level, which is with some massive volume. But of course, anything can happen and things can obviously roll over and dump in times like this. So we do have to be cautious on that. So if we take a look at the TD sequential, we don't have any TD9 flashes yet. We have very, very good support down here at 1145. We have very, very good support at 1243, which is roughly my downside target between 1218 and 1240. Now, I'm talking about downside targets because obviously not everything can go up, but we are on a breakout right here. So let's look at the hourly, see what happened here. So on the hourly here, right, we got this confirmation candle right here. Okay, we got this spinning top, which was showing us signs of the downside, and we hit some resistance perfectly on the top of this rising channel. So, we have to be cautious, a little bit cautious here, because on the hourly here, if we do run up here and get rejected, this could be a head and shoulders pattern. So we have to be careful in that sense. But, as of right now, it looks like it got a nice little bounce. If it was to get above this 1370, 1375 area, then it could actually, if it gets an hourly close up in here with some nice volume, then we could actually be looking for a move up here to this 1422 area. For me, would it be worth it to make a trade on this? I think that the only way it would really be worth it to make a trade here is if we got an hourly close above 1445. And I'll show you exactly why I'm looking for that level. So you can see we came up here and we wicked and we caught resistance here perfectly, right? But being that we're a little bit overextended, it could still trend up in here a little bit before any type of downside. So we could actually come down, come up, come down, and so on and so forth, and just trend here for a little bit, which is signaling signs of strength and everything like that. For me, I'm going to show you why I want to go long on this thing, only if we can get this hourly confirmation here. So on the weekly here, we have an 8 on the TD9 here. So obviously the following week could be a TD9 flash. Where's my Ichimoku cloud and why is it not showing up? Why is it not showing up? Because we're way above the resistance. So to be honest with you, this would have been the best time of all time to go long, obviously from this range to this range here, because we just got confirmation above this resistance here. But we did just get above this 100 EMA, which roughly is that downside target, right? 1250. So if we did have a small pullback here, we could actually come back to this 1250. And if we catch support there, that would actually be a fucking great buying opportunity, I think, on this dip. But we might not even come back down. We'll have to see. So on the weekly here, it looks like as of right now, we're above this trend line here. So you could actually try to make a little play here if you were, had some extra money and you were trying to make a play and you wanted to say, okay, we're above this trend line. We got an hourly close. We could have some downside here, but I'm going to put a long in at 1243 if it hits that target, and I'm going to put my stop loss down below this trend line, which would be roughly 13th. I'm going to say 1315 because that's below that rising channel. That's the breakdown, right? So if it comes below 1315, then we're fucked for the time being. Not really fucked, but we'll come back down to 1280 and then reset a few things and then maybe trend back up and try again. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I have a breakout target of this up here at 2049, but I'm going to tell you that I'm not looking to take profits there if I do in fact enter this here. So, it looks like it's breaking out of an inverse head and shoulders here. And this right here is actually the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, which, on the weekly we didn't confirm, but on the other time frames we actually did confirm here. So that's actually a great sign because an inverse head and shoulders targeted move here would be the size of the head. And your breakout comes again roughly to 2017. So I'm going to show you where I got this 1881 from here. Now, obviously the weekly is a little bit overextended here, which makes me a little bit nervous here that we could be having a fake break here. So we're going to have to be very cautious. But if we do come back down and catch support anywhere on this 1250 area here, we actually are looking at a potential in a few weeks from now, golden cross here coming in. But if we do get rejected at the 1250 and we were to come all the way back down here, we could come back to this bottom of this line here, right? So we have to be a little bit concerned on that. And if we do fall out of it, then we could fall all the way back down here. So we do want to keep stop losses no matter what on this thing. So wherever you decide to enter. Now, what I said was I'm going to enter at 14. I'm either going to enter at 1445 or I'm going to I think I'm going to enter at 1445. So if you look here, the 50 daily moving average is at 1346, which is roughly perfectly in line with our neckline of our head and shoulders. So if you do fall below 1346, 1343, roughly, that's why I would put a stop loss at 13. Well, I'm still going to put a stop loss at 1318 if I decide to enter this tomorrow, depending on how it turns out. I'm going to keep my eye on it a little bit. So that's one option that you could do, okay? And if it just starts taking off, it's a pretty clear sign here that we might be not turning around, but doesn't mean just FOMO right in and grab it. You still want to wait for some of these levels here because the stock will come down most likely to test some of these levels here potentially. And then just put a stop loss at 1318 or 1315, and if you get stopped out, then just don't re-enter and just wait it out. But if you do want to make that quick trade, now if you want to make an even safer trade here, we would want to wait to get above 1450. Now, if it goes up to 15, sells right off, comes back down, doesn't mean enter. Do the normal routine. Get an hourly close above this level right here, 1450. So if you're on your charts here, we'll go to the hourly. We'll take a look at our targeted mark here, and we're going to put our price range here, and we're going to say we will go long if we potentially get an hourly close above this level or an hourly close somewhere above this level, which most likely, if we do have a nice run up again here in double top, then we could fall all the way back down here, so on and so forth, and trend in here as we move our way all the way up here, if that's in fact what we're going to do. But like I said, I'm not trying to be overly bullish here because, a lot of stocks are correcting, so it's, we have to be cautious still. But that's my play here. You can make a trade here if you want. Try to enter somewhere between 1345 and 1337, as low as if it does wick down here to 1326. And you could either put your stop loss below this line at $13, or you could put your stop loss at 1315, whatever you would like. But you can see here, we haven't wicked below this trend line here. So this is very, very solid support. So for me, even if I was to enter here, or if I was to wait and see if it comes back down here and I entered here, then I could just easily put a stop loss below $13. Or if you wanted to really long it, you could put a stop loss below here. But in my opinion, doing anything like that, you might as well just get stopped out here and then re-enter here. So that's why I'm just going to put my stop loss either at 13, or I'm going to put my stop loss at 13.15, which would be below this trend line here. So that's where we're at right now. And let's look at the daily real quick and see. So, you know, obviously we had that bullish price action here where we've talked about. That is a confirmation of a trend reversal there, which we got. So that would have been the place to really enter personally. And obviously you see, ever since we got this confirmation right here, we've nonstop ran up. So, you know, we could be overextended. We could be looking for a potential drop. But in times like this, if we enter either up here or we enter somewhere up here, this is the trend line of support right now. So anything below this line is a breakdown, and everything above this line is a breakout. So I might enter here at 1344 or 1329, one of those two, I'm not sure, with a stop loss below. And yeah, that's where we're at, guys. So I just wanted to put this one on the radar here. So just keep this one in mind. And if you look on the hourly here real quick, we obviously got a bounce there, and that hourly candle confirmed it. So let's see what happens. But keep your eye on GE.